Before we get into the breaking news of historic mission space plan, let's look at what's coming out of the White House this morning. First, updates from conflict in the Middle East. Trump this morning said Iran leaders want a ceasefire, but the United States won't move towards peace until the Strait of Hormuz is opened. The conflict, which began February 28th of this year, between U.S. and Israeli strikes has driven U.S. gas prices up a whole $1 per gallon and has disrupted global markets, with U.S. military operations costing over $1 billion per day. Analysts say a prolonged war could drive a significant increase in defense spending and further impact the federal budget. President Trump is expected to address the nation tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next, looking over at SCOTUS. In other news, President Trump attended the oral arguments at the Supreme Court today on birthright citizenship. This follows his executive order by President Trump that denied citizenship to certain U.S.-born citizens and children of undocumented or temporary resident parents. He is the first president ever sitting to attend a Supreme Court oral argument. And this comes after he criticized the Supreme Court justices for their decision on the case striking down his tariffs executive order. Now looking over at this new space station mission, the countdown is underway. NASA is preparing to launch Artemis 2, its first crewed lunar mission in over 50 years. With 4 astronauts on a 10-day journey, this marks a major step towards returning humans to the moon. This is going to build off of Artemis 1, 2, 3, and eventually pave the way for Artemis 4 in 2028, when humans are expected to set foot on the lunar surface again. Artemis 2 is set to lift off this evening, Wednesday, April 1st, marking the first crewed mission to the moon since Apollo 17 in 1972, when astronauts just spent over 3 days on the lunar surface. Now, the big question everyone's going to be asking is how much this is going to cost American taxpayers. Now, comparing and contrasting the first mission to the moon, the Apollo program costed over $290 billion, obviously adjusting for inflation, by the time the first moon landed back in 1969. NASA predicts that this Artemis program is going to cost taxpayers $105 billion just by the first landing, which is expected to launch in 2028. If you're interested in following more of this developing story, you can go to thecentersquare.com as well as our YouTube channel at The Center Square to follow all of these updates and more.